Next thing I want to talk about, guys. I was actually in attendance for this fight along with Lowe and Keith. We spoke over the entire break. The Andre Ward Carl Froch fight. Is Andre Ward the bread and butter Christian God-fearing man that boxing needs, or is his spark not lit quite well yet?
It ain't lit, man. Because boxing is a blue-collar sport, man. It's a rugged sport. Usually people think of boxers with tough backgrounds, and it's fighting. I mean, like I said this many times before, you either knocking people out or you shooting up cars. I mean, people want to see the thug story, or they want to see somebody's going to beat some people up, man. He's not doing either one of those, so he's not going to sell any tickets, man. I'm not sold on him.
Would James Toney and Andre Ward be good friends?
No. Why? I mean, and I'm a Christian man. I'm a God-fearing man, but I'm also not trying to sell tickets to the public.
Right.
So, if fighting's his passion, he feels that's what God brought him to the table to do, I'm all for it. But, if he wants to make a lot of money, I hope he doesn't sell himself out, but I hope he starts knocking people out.
Do you think that SOG should stand for son of a gun, or should it stay as son of God? Because that's what his moniker is, and that's who he's fighting for. But is he fighting for the fans? And what's next for Andre Ward?
Well, I don't really think that his nickname has much to do with it. I think that Son of God is okay if that's what he chooses, or SOG. But I personally like Andre Ward. I've liked him for years. I actually called for him to win initially when this tournament was first signed. I thought that he was going to beat Kessler and beat everybody else. I do think that there was going to be an issue with him getting the recognition that he probably deserves because he is not an exciting fighter. But I think that as long as he keeps winning, that he is going to get that recognition. And I think that his promoters, promoters in general, can do their job, and they can make him the cash cow that he needs to be by setting him up against the right fighters and by putting him in with fighters who are looked at by the public as exciting fighters, and then when he beats them, then what's going to be next. So I do think that Andre Ward has potential as long as he keeps winning, and regardless of how he looks, as long as he keeps winning, that he will be there. And I think that he should fight Lucien Butte next because they're both undefeated fighters, and that would be an excellent fight for fight fans and for the boxing public in general.
Tough fight though.
Very tough fight for both fighters. Tough for both fighters.
Butte, a slick southpaw, he can box, and he's actually just been kind of slugging lately. He hasn't done a lot of boxing. That left uppercut he has a nasty tool, man. I think that anybody that's going to be coming in for that, they got to be aware of that, man. I think he's a good boxer, and I think he has underrated power too.
Now, me personally, I feel that Andre Ward doesn't do something for me that I think a lot of boxers need to. Andre Ward does not make the casual fan watch boxing. Right. And 9 times out of 10, aside from hanging with these fellas, I'm around casual fans where I have to sell the fight as the boxing, analyst or specialist to my friends who are other casual fans. I don't want to have to do that. If your name's not a household name and I have to sell you, guess what? I'm not in marketing.
That's right.
Okay? So it's not going to happen.
That's right.
All right? Let's move on, guys.